Okay, right, the survey. So for those of you who responded to the survey, thank you very much. The information is really valuable to us, but we thought we'd share what you all said. We won't share the comments, but the actual things that the boxes that you ticked, where you can now see how they get aggregated out. So there are 18 questions. This is the first question. What version are you currently running in development? And pleased to say that the bulk of you are on a supported release. For those of you in the audience, so the first thing you do is add up all the percentages and say it doesn't come to 100. I'll explain why. This is the graph that the surveying company gave us. But what they've done is they've allowed you to say, I've got two development environments, one in 7.1 and one in 7.0. But then when they've worked out the percentages, they've said that well, there were 30 responses, therefore I'll divide by 30 to get the percentage. And so you've got 80% on 7.1 and 20 on 6.3. That's 100. You know, you can see how that distorts it. But it gives you an idea. The bulk of people on 7.1. Obviously for us, the worry is that there's still some people down here on 6.3 and 7.0. So if that's you, I'd encourage you to get up as quickly as possible to 7.1. To 2016. Okay, so that's development. In production, it's probably a little worse. We've got quite a lot of people in production on 6.3, and that's a worry. But for answer to your question, Callum, there is at least I think 2 users who've got production on 2016 already, and for a new version of JADE, I think that's probably a first. Most people, when the new version of JADE came out, would wait at least till the first minor release came out before they would upgrade.
Sorry, John. Is that answered the total of 30? Where are you going to?
Oh yeah, it said so that there were 30 people that answered the survey.
80% of that 30 on day 7.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's right. Yeah, the problem. Yeah, roughly, yeah. Okay, so that's the releases that we're on. Now we started to look at features that you're using. So we started off with database features, and as you can see, we've got a lot of people using SDS, which is really good. We're quite pleased about the working set here because this is something we're looking at deprecating, so that's good. I mean, this information we can share with you. It's just of interest more perhaps to us than to you. But if you're using a feature and you're the only one, that might be something you're interested in. So that's the database features. Report Writer was interesting. I think there's more people using Report Writer than we thought. So that's good because it's an area of the product we're looking at. So these are the web features, and again, web services has had a really good uptake since come into the product. Now, if you want to ask any questions, in fact, in my bag there, I've got the actual full details if you want to know exactly any numbers here. Right, so that's the web features that are in the product. General functions. It was interesting when Anthony first joined the group a few months ago, he was saying, you know, how is the uptake of interfaces, and he saw that as a really important part of the product. And it was interesting to see that number, that it's quite high. And type methods. Did you notice that? So what's that? 28% responded by saying they're using type methods. And they've been in the product, what? 3 months?
10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, 10 minutes, yeah, excellent. So that's good, that's good. In terms of source management, these are just some of the things that are there. Patch version in Delta is still highly, well used. And we also wanted to know about encrypted schemas and things for the work that we're doing in that area. Interfaces. Any surprises there? Was that anybody thought that was odd? I think that's probably what I was expecting. Okay. One or two of these, because it was optional whether you gave your name. So if I wanted to get back and find out who the JADE serial port user was, that might be a bit tricky. But it's interesting to know that there are people out there using it. Okay, so this was another interesting one. This is about appearance, and there is quite a large percentage of people using skins. Might be the old skins, but they're still in that area. So what you did today, Brian, might encourage these people to refresh those skins. Okay. What have we got here? Question. I don't know if that really offers any surprises there. A lot of TCP/IP usage, which is what we'd expect. Compact JADE. Bit of use there. SSL. Yep. Right. This was interesting. What really confused me here was people using Form Wizard. That threw me completely. I didn't think anybody would be using Form Wizard. Anybody here today using Form Wizard? No. I'll try and track down who that is. That's interesting. Oh, well, okay. Okay, right. So question 13 was the first of the open questions. So in question 13 we asked, what additional features would you like to see in the product? There were only 15 responses out of the 30, and the only two entries that, the only two things that had multiple entry were source control and method overloading. So there wasn't much of a consensus there, no strong themes at all. And then went on to look at backups and who tests their backups, actually tries to restore and goes through that testing process. We were hoping for 100%, but at least we've given people some food for thought. Now, question 15 was how you rated various parts of the JADE product. Now, there were 5 things you could answer: excellent, very good, average, bad, or not applicable. Right? So going that way, that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so most of these average between 2 and 3, which is between average and excellent. So I think the most gratifying one was the general JADE support. Everybody felt that was excellent, so that was really good. I think the JADE new look and feel got a good bash there, and people were pretty impressed with that. In fact, some really positive results there for us. Trends that you think would affect your organisation over the next 12 months. Methodologies were a big one. I put Agile in there, but I think just general methodologies were of interest to lots of people. Thought that might affect their organisation. 1 or 2 were obviously a bit further back with their JADE releases, so upgrading from 6.3 all the way through seemed that might present some challenges for them. And mobile devices obviously was another one that people had concerns. So the next question, which was sort of similar, was around what might affect your developers' work over the next 12 months. And they were very similar. Again, methodologies, web integration. Distributed development teams was quite an interesting one. More and more of the development teams using JADE are not all in the same town. A lot of people are either working from home or spread across different countries. We've now got a group of JADE developers working in the UK and 3 locations in New Zealand. So that distributed development is going to present some problems to developers over the next 12 months. I mean, there's some challenges there that Northwest Investments and Skipton have had to work through over the years. There are pluses, of course, been 12 hours difference, you know. There's always somebody working on a problem. But that is going to be a problem for some of our sites over the next 12 months. Well, if you've got people working, especially different time zones, in the same development environment, how you control the whole process, or if you have separate development environments, how do you synchronise them? Those are the sorts of problems that these people are facing. Okay, the last question, which was, please provide your thoughts on JADE Software Corporation and JADE product. That was interesting. And there's some lovely things said there, which was very pleasing for us. There wasn't really many themes, but there were three things that came out. One was around UI options, and I think much of what we've said today has focused on options in UI. The second one was around availability and hot fixes, and I think this is an area that is subtly changing. As John said earlier today, the 2016 release has been a good one. We've not had a lot of fixes for it, and therefore the service pack, there's not a service pack on the horizon. And because that is the case, in certain instances, we've had to give some thought about the threshold for hot fixes, because if there's not a service pack coming in the near future, there are some levels of problems that people can't last that long. So there has been some adjustments there. And the last one, I think there were some comments around the future of the company and the product, and I think Grady's presentation this morning nicely answered that. The company is obviously in a very healthy state, and very much focused on the future, and specifically on the future of the JADE product. So all in all, it's a good survey. The survey's still open, isn't it, Karen? So if you haven't responded, please do, because the more information we get, the better we can tailor the product. I think that's about all I've got to say. Is this about the right time?
Yeah.
It is, isn't it? Oh, good. Thank you. Look at that.